How's everybody this evening?
We're doing our
All
best.
well.
Fine. Cool.
Glad to hear your tones. Doing all right, huh?
Everything.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
We got some names
I'm doing pretty
that came out the ether coming for Jasmine and for Ovi. Ovi, are you here, Ovi? Amun, is your mother here?
Yeah, Mama, he talking to you. Yes, she here. Roll back.
I want to let her
Yes.
roll back.
Well, that.
Yeah,
Yes, Obi is here.
We found your name. We found your name in the ether, yours and Jasmine's. All right.
Oh,
Who
wow.
has that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with us?
I have one.
I do.
Go ahead. The first sister, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Wrong about Amun. This is Jasmine. So my spiritual experience that I've been experiencing lately is practicing how to not worry about things, which I've been doing really good. I've noticed, like, with any situation, I just remember, like, everything will be okay and not to think about negative things or try to, like, create all type of scenarios in my head to where I think something's going to go wrong. And then once I started to notice that once I started doing that, nothing actually goes wrong. Like, it just,
right.
Goes with the flow. And I've noticed, like, in my dreams I've been having, like, I had 2 dreams lately. So one of my dreams was I was driving my truck. I had put oil in my truck, and then I drove it, and then I stopped, took a break. And then when I went to start the truck would not start. And I had to deliver this load. I just know I had to deliver the load or whatever. And I didn't panic or anything like that. And then sooner or later, I went to open the hood. I noticed that I left the cap open, so there was oil all over the place. I put the cap back on, started the truck again, and then sooner or later, like, the truck just started running, and I was able to go.
Right.
So I thought that was just nice how I was able to be calm and
I
not,
love
like,
you. You're right. And now you start to think about all the time you wasted and how you felt with all that unnecessary worry right now, right?
Yeah, and then my next dream I had was we was outside, and it was like a bunch of people in my family, and I don't know how to really describe it. I guess we was as tall up, like, in a mountain or somewhere where we was able to see, like, the view of, like, I guess a whole city or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw everybody go towards, like, I guess where you could see it closer. But I knew something was, like, about to go down because I saw, like, it was kind of weird. I saw, like, the police cars, like, in the sky, like they had plane wings or something like that. And I'm like, something about to go down. So the next thing you know, all I see is, like, mini, like, bomb mushrooms. Like, you know how, like, when something is bombed, you see, like, the mushrooms? So all I saw was, like, mini mushrooms. Yeah, and then I was like, everybody was screaming and panicking, and I was sitting there just calm and like, well, it is what it is.
That's
I just
right.
thought that was kind of cool. Like, I just wasn't scared or anything like
And
that.
I'm very proud of
That's what I wanted to share.
All right. You all start fix your phones. All right. The other sister had a spiritual experience, too.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. So last night I came to work and I laid down on the couch and I saw in the ceiling. I saw all these waves of, like, a white cloud. I guess on the ceiling, waves, like little waves, and that was sort of overwhelming for me. And then also, I noticed that I do worry a lot as well. But I know the number 44 has been coming up, like, several times for the past 2 years.
That's
And I'm
synchronicity.
thinking, when I see 44, I'm like, it's like everything's going to be okay. So if I stress out, look at my clock on my phone, it says 44, it's like, it's not as bad as I think it was. So the 44, I see it every day, 3 or 4 times a day for like 2 years now.
That means now it's docking with itself.
Say it again?
Now it's docking with itself.
Roll back, family. This is Amun.
Rahul back.
Can you explain that? I'm trying to.
Yeah. Well, when you start, the synchronicity starts coming around, then that means that now is docking with itself. You're approaching now. You're starting to elevate to now. A lot of people are still lost in religious beliefs. And in other words, there was a time Jehovah's Witnesses come to your door, Seventh-day Adventists, start with your homes. And you would let them in. Thank you. You would let them in. And that would cause you to second guess your beliefs. But when you ran into right knowledge, you knew that you had the facts. And so there was no more searching. You didn't need to hear Seventh-day Adventists or any other beliefs because you already knew that you had found the truth. Are you following me? And now doctrine itself. Then you achieve now. Because now you had the truth, right?
Correct.
That's why it's amazing that you have some people that think they're elevating, but they're still searching and trying to encourage other people to go to different places. I had somebody talking about, what was that you said June had for,
The Telegram.
It was Patah Hotep who had posted something earlier that I saw on my phone, and it had something to do with inviting people to Yahweh establishment is what it read. Okay, my thing about this posting, this inviting of people to Yahweh or any other place other than right here with the Messiah is just not real. I mean, if you really believe in the wordings or teachings of someone else, why are you here?
I agree.
You know, I mean, it's not right and it's not fair.
and it's dangerous for good souls to misdirect them. Also, you said that June had something about to come to somewhere else.
June did post something as well. I can't remember right now, but he too. I'm saying this to you too, brother. If you are not all the way with the Messiah, then you just need to not come. You know, don't go spreading or teaching other things that's not true. You don't know the whole thing. That's why you were supposed to be here in the first place, because you don't know the whole thing. Don't tell people, especially new people that are trying the ones that are really seeking the truth, things that what you speculate or what you think or feel, because you're wrong. You know, leave these people. If you're going to say something, teaching something, teach them or lead them to the Messiah. He's the only one with the only real truth.
All right, and I wanted to point out something. Go ahead. Mute your phone.
Yeah, who this, Anuki, you were talking about Patah? Me, Hotep Amun?
Yeah, she said, and she was talking about Khufu, too.
No,
what
that
about,
wasn't.
roll back.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me get mine out the way. That was, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out the send post. That one, I wasn't trying to send everybody to the other place. I was trying to do this because I had been calling Khufu trying to figure out how to send Amun post.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a mistake. That wasn't me trying to send nobody towards nobody else. I'm trying to send them how to do this class. So if that got confused, that wasn't for that. Please talk to me first.
Well, thank you, son.
Like that.
Thank you.
I never do nothing like that.
I follow you. And I know your soul was too good, for real, to try to send somebody somewhere else. Okay, let's go to Holy Tablets, chapter 6, tablet 10, please.
Greetings, family. This is Tanisha. I'm new.
How are you? Everybody, please welcome this good sister home.
Welcome.
Sister. Welcome home.
Welcome home, sis. Thank you for coming. Love and light.
Welcome home.
Welcome home, sis.
Welcome
home, sis.
And greetings. My name is Sheila Vaughn, and I'm new.
Well, let's welcome this sister home, too.
Welcome home, my sister. Much love and light.
Welcome home, sister.
Glad you're
here.
Gratitude. Thank you.
Yes. All right. the new sisters and the new people, do you have a question before we get started?
Yes, I have one question. It's about a vision. My name is Sheila. I had a vision that I had wings and I was fighting. Do you know what that means?
And you were what? Flying?
I was fighting. I had like wings and I was like fighting.
Okay. You mean, do I know what it means?
Yes, sir.
No, let me explain something about dreams. When you have a dream, if I'm a part of it, then I can describe what the potent of it or the meaning was. But if it was a private dream for you, never let anybody tell you that they know what your dream means, because that interpretation was between you and the Most High within you. You follow?
Yes, sir.
Right. But it sounds to me like it alluded to me as far as you are. I know that you had a vision that kept repeating that you were a seraphim. And those are the agreeable and good angels that are at war with the cherubim, the bad angels, the fallen angels.
Okay.
As Father Babianoon said, you know what means are those fallen angels? But, okay. Anybody else do have a question?
I don't.
Well, we're in chapter 6, tablet 10. Go ahead.
This is Tanisha. This is
very
Tanisha.
good.
I don't have a question per se, but I would like to, for you to speak with you.
Okay.
Just in general. And I can wait to ask class if that's okay.
Well, no, I mean, did you any particular subject?
Yes, I've been for 5 years now. I've been on a soulmate journey, mental, physically, and spiritually. Cleansing myself, reinventing myself, working with my shadow side and light side. And my brother can tell you, I had to let a lot of things go, let a lot of people go, and my circle became smaller, and my visions became clearer, and I'm a seer. So dreaming and seeing the universe, speaking with the universe with numbers and stuff, I get that daily. And that's why I was, glad to hear the sisters, speak about the numbers, because I can recognize with that. And I think alchemy is my strong point. But as far as balance and the soulmate journey, that's what I really wanted to know about. Is that a thing, or
when you say soulmate journey? I'm inclined to think that you interested in meeting your own counterpart or your own higher self. One or the other.
I have been in touch with my higher self.
Right. Because you know you're a duality, right? Right. I know yin and yang and the masculine, feminine. My higher self has got me out of a lot of things, even in the spiritual world. It only gets you out of it because you listen to it, Seraphim.
Correct.
A lot of people, their higher self been talking to them since they've been in the world, and they've ignored it so much it's become this rust upon their hearts, and they can no longer hear that voice anymore.
Yeah.
So they don't know the difference between right and wrong. Well, they don't care anymore. You follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
My higher self and my great-great-great-grandmother, who I've never met in the physical, but she's always magnolia trees, and that was her thing, and I always wondered why I end up in this house, always in my dreams, and it's always like someone was watching me. It was always her. And then for her to manifest to someone else and going on Ancestry and actually seeing her name and, finding out who she was, and she's been with me all my life, to have her just be here, that was something amazing to me. So really, that kept me grounded and close to my higher self because I feel like me and her are one of the same.
Well, that's unique because my grandmother is with me every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Every day. And she's passed on, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a wonderful thing.
This lady, except for when she bumped my bed to let me know that she was there and let me know, if she had a message. But it was little things like magnolia trees in my dreams or this Victorian house that she actually used to stay in. She would give me visions of it while so that's how I knew she was around.
That's right. Well, it's easy to tell you're a very enlightened and spiritual being, and you're in the right place. So again, I want to extend a warm welcome to you, because you're now reconnecting with your long home. You know what I mean? You're forever home again. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, now, especially new people, if you can go on and Google, please Google the Holy Tablets. Write this down so you know how to Google it. The Holy Tablets, comma, Malachi York, M-A-L-A-C-H-I, Malachi York, Y-O-R-K. The Holy Tablets, comma, Malachi York, comma, PDF, and then hit search. What I want to introduce you all to is your own scripture. Because the Bible is not our scripture, neither is the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita. All the holy tablets, they're our purified scripture. Are you all there with the holy tablets?
Sure.
Okay. And the new sisters, could you all find it?
Yes. Yes, I have it already on my PDF.
Okay, I love you. And then you want to go to chapter 6. You want to go to chapter 6, tablet 10.
Okay.
I know you all are very bright and intelligent, so you can navigate your way through the ether. You found us, so you can find this.
PBS.
Chapter 6.
Yes, chapter 6, tablet 10. The mortals.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, my name is Andrew, and I have a question.
I'll do my best.
Have you ever heard of shamans?
Shani?
The shaman.
Shaman? Like a medicine man?
Indian? Yeah.
Yes. I have an Indian in my family, definitely. My grandfather, Little Red, was an Indian shaman. Yes.
What was their function?
Blackfoot, out of Louisiana. I was born in New Orleans.
What was the function of the shaman?
Healer, spiritual guide.
Okay.
But we call the medicine man.
Yes, I know. What I'm getting to is they guides and they interpret dreams. I don't think that art is lost. I think it's who you go to get your dreams interpreted. But those of that tribe, shaman will interpret your dreams because that's who they are. They're very spiritual because they're healers.
Right. I'm also a healer, but like I was telling the sister, you got to be aware of people interpreting dreams. But the thing is this. Shaman also usually have used peyote or some type of substance. I've been trying to get in touch with it right quick because I've ran out. But there are DMT and certain things that you can ingest that'll get you in tune with the spiritual plane, and it's all about frequencies and vibrations. But that's something we're going to get into a little bit later. But yeah, my grandfather definitely was a shaman, Little Red, and my father remembers he was a little boy, because when they got a certain age, they didn't just lay down and die, but when they were ready to go, he remembers that they put my father on 2 sticks stretched behind a horse, like a bed.
The conference will automatically end in 5 minutes.
And then they took him on out, way out in the woods, and my father asked to go, and they said he was too young, they wouldn't let him go. And they brought him out, way out in the woods, and he stuck out there behind him. He saw him, place him up on a briar, way up on a briar, and they sat around until he passed away, and then they set that thing on fire before they came back. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's real.
Okay, one other thing. I want to make a statement.
You're breaking up. You want to know what his name is? His name is Little Red. What it is I got to get on with this doctrine right here. I want to talk to you in private about Indians a lot, and you know what I mean? So you have my private number?
No, I don't.
Well, write it down.
I'm ready.
478-454-4004.
All right, and your name?
Amun-Rayay.
AMUN.
That's it. AMUN. Amun-Rayay. RAYAY. All right, now we kind of time barred, my young fellow, but I love you and I'm welcome home to you too. Is this your first time here?
Absolutely.
Please, everybody, what is your name again?
Andrew.
Andrew. Okay, everybody, please welcome the brother home.
Welcome, Andrew.
Welcome home, Andrew. Much love and light.
Welcome, Andrew.
Okay.
Welcome again.
Okay, everybody mute your phones. We're going to start on chapter 6, tablet 10. This is a story about Panabab Yanun, our master teacher, referred to as Dr. Malachi Z. York, and many other names. Lo, if I could cry one real tear, do you think that they will hear? Remembering my trials in this holy tablets, being sent to human beings, one must be prepared for their nature. An initiation is like a birth, and the key to overstanding it is to overstand that each that is born of someone who themselves were born of someone. All of the pure ones have a silsila. A silsila is like a chain, a link that links all the way back to the source. It is a link, much like the etheric cord, that stretches forth from soul to soul, and which keeps the channels from the higher realms into the earth plane opened. When a mother and father have a child, that child is brought forth unto them in a bodily form. That same child, however, has a spirit that extends back 76 trillion years. For this reason, every mystic order has spiritual masters, or beings from higher planes, whose responsibility is to keep you, that child, in tune with the original spark since the beginning of creation. Then on one still shadow time, as I was walking along, I perceived the presence of a superior being with me. I turned around, and I saw no one, but I began to fear inside. Then suddenly from me and through me at the same time sounded my name, saying, Yanun, Yanun, fear not, for you shall be the bearer of the torch of light in the west, and shall save many souls. You are yet a baby, but you shall mature into a man more rapidly than you can ever imagine. Do not be afraid, for I am about to manifest. Startled and overwhelmed, frightened and bewildered, I could not have faith that this was happening. Suddenly I felt a warm sensation 2 inches above my navel. A feeling shot upwards towards the center of my chest from the solar plexus, and then a tingling feeling centered between my eyes. Immediately, a crystal green and white rays of light slowly appearing, and there he stood, magnificently. How can I make you feel what I felt? How can I make you see what I saw? He was strong. He was powerful. He was gowned in what seemed like a whitish green flowing robe, and there was a glow about him that I had never seen in any other
will
person.
automatically end in 30 seconds.
And please drop 774. A sparkle, bright as the stars.
Joshua.
Now, who bet Joshua? How are you? Are you new here?
I'm good, and yourself? How are you?
Pretty good. Is this your first time here, Joshua?
No, I come in every now and then when I get.
Well, I'm glad you're in here right now. Just mute your phones and.
Conference ending. Goodbye.
No problem.
I love you. I looked into his eyes, and I was no longer afraid. For in his eyes I saw depth, I saw warmth, I saw compassion, tenderness, understanding, and kindness. I knew that I was safe in his presence. He made me feel comfortable and secure. He spoke, and his voice was the voice of the angelic beings. He said, "Your soul lived over 76 trillion years. You have witnessed many cycles, and now you have begun to grow. You are of the ancient ones, Al-Awalina. You are Ilamutadaza, an avatar. You may not at this time understand what this means, but as time passes, and you begin to grow from your inner self outward, you begin to perceive and understand these things. The spirit of your father has awaited its rebirth into this earth plane, and now it is your calling." I was speechless. I tried to stare into him in order to decipher who, what, and from where he came, for I didn't want to boldly ask him. And as if he knew what I was thinking and feeling, without a second's thought, he said that he belonged to the ancient ones who had descended upon the planet during the time of the master Noah, sons of Lamech and Camilla, and even before, millions of years prior to the birth of your Adam. It was called Project Blue Rock, infested by the Astar Command, the intergalactic legion of this side sector 3.7 from End Circle. I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. This being was highly involved in the upper worlds. He said many had come here to earth and had planted seeds in the earth, and their children this very day are called star people. And some of them are called the Watchers or Elohim on their own planets. That's what you all are, the star people gathering again. Some of them are highly reputable in their own galaxies and dimensions. He and those with him are as real as you are in the alliance of the Space Confederation. There is one by the name of Astara. He is the commander in the highest in this hemisphere. He is also the commander of his mother plane, a starship, a crystal ship coming for their own. The Anunnaki elders are approaching a time of crisis, so 35 million strong will assist you. They will lift up and reserve you and hold you in safety for up to 1,000 years. If needed, you will see the magnetized solar flares now present around the sun and its position in conjunction with the planetary alignment that is presently coming into its final position in the lunar longing of the 5th point of May in the year 2000 of the Gregorian calendar. How many of you all found out how come they had that the rain is blue in Texas? The blue rain. Anybody have any update on that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. But we just wanted to let you all know that it's raining blue in Texas. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's raining blue in Texas because something to do with the air being poisoned. It's something to do with something nuclear or something. It shouldn't be water that you shouldn't be drinking or nothing like that. It's not a good thing.
No, you shouldn't drink it. A man did drink some, and he was tripping like a person on LSD. But I tell you, that's from the extraterrestrials, the ETs. It combined to create a strong tendency to pull the planet Earth in towards motion. The polar shift, 23 degrees of its true existence, have been greatly lessened by the action of our scientific helper from the mother planet of this planet called Terra. And then he told me that the error had come. I did not know what he was referring to, and so he began to explain. 90 millions of miles away from the planet Earth is the sun, that great star that shapes the lives of those on Earth. It takes the Earth 1 year to revolve around the sun, and that year is divided into 12 months. The sun and the other planets that make up your universes orbit around a galactic center called the central vortex. And just as the 1 year that the Earth takes to revolve around the sun is divided into 12 months, so is the time that it takes the universe to orbit around the galactic center divided into 12 periods. Each period consists of 2,705 years, totaling approximately 25,000 years. That's an equinox, which is the time that it takes the universe to make one complete rotation around the galaxy. Each period of era has a name according to the monthly signs in reverse order. For example, the universe is now passing out of the era of water, the era governed by all that is physical, known to many as Dardus Samkatini, the Piscean era, and is entering into the era of air, ether, mind, and power, known to many as the Aquarian age of Daru Dalar. This new age is a spiritual era that the world is now ready to accept. And you have been chosen to teach the light of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek to the new souls who are waiting to receive it. Those new souls who realize that there is more to human beings than what he thinks to be his 5 physical senses. Those souls who realize that there are extra senses, that there is an astral body, an aura, and that communications can be made with beings outside of this planet. The 12th era from the Piscean era, moving counterclockwise, have 8 doors that open up. When the 6th door opened in the lunar log of the 1966th year of the Gregorian calendar, disagreeable beings descended into the earth in many forms, including the human beings from Ashtar Command, the ancestors of the disagreeable Halabian Flugelraz and Hulub, who now seek to control the planet, are the named Children of the Light, simply the Illuminati. And they are trying. But in 1966, there was a change. When the vortex opened, a lot of lower beings entered into the earth, and the music changed. You remember black people sang songs about love, and most of them, Aretha and Samka, all these people came out of church, had a religious background, and they upheld women, didn't call them by degrading names, and all this old rap talking about, and I poured a beer on his grave, and all this was not all this negativity. And they brought in a synthetic sound. They stopped using acoustic instruments that you could feel the soul of a person playing it. And they started using these beat machines. They started with trance, Europe, Express, boom, 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 trance, Europe, Express. That was also 1966, was the year that the Pope came to the United States for the first time to visit. And they called that the year of the child, which should have been mute your phone, should have been the year of the children, right? When he went to the Dakota house to oversee the birth of Rosemary's baby. That was the Antichrist, okay? Then the 7th door opened in 1970 AD, and agreeable beings, the Anunnaki from the Bureau, descended upon the land in order to help you. That was my year. 30 years from the year 2000 AD, which is the year 6000. You have 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 666. Sensing that I was afraid for fear that I would not be able to retain all that he taught me, he said, try not to retain all that I've taught you, but rather relax, and it will settle itself in your subconscious mind. Once there, you will need it. It will burst forth like the sun in the daylight hours if you have faith without a doubt. And put your trust in Allah. You will find that we, the Elohim, will open you up, and all the answers to the universe will reside in your chest. Having said this, he was gone from sight. I stood there posing. Where did he go, I thought? And why did he tell me his name? I waited for hoping that something would happen. And a lady passing by said, are you all right, mister? You look ill. I spoke back saying, I am fine, thank you, and then proceeded to walk away. Suddenly, while walking, fear overtook me. But why was I afraid? Immediately, I realized that it was because he was withdrawing from me. And 7 minutes later, I heard a voice from a distance say, seek me, and you will find me. Ask for me, and I will be there. Knock, and I will always open this side of the world to you. And then the voice faded away. I called, I looked around, it was gone. I cried all the way home. 7 months passed before I heard from him again. And then one day, while meditating and in a state of profound tranquility, when my mind and soul were in communion with the cosmos, I began to feel his presence. I was sure that he would manifest, but he did not. Instead, a name appeared. My room was dimly lit by candles of the Sabbath, but there, just above my head, in a cloudy yet visible form, was the name Al-Qidar, which in Arabic really means meant green. I stared at the name for what seemed an eternity, and slowly thereafter it disappeared. I sat there in the stillness of the room contemplating my thoughts. Who was Al-Qadar? If Al-Qadar was the name of a person, who was that person, and what important role would he play in my life? Was Al-Qadar the name of he who made his presence known to me? I knew I had to find the answers to my questions, and so I went to the library in search of books which could give me some enlightenment. Later, I questioned various Arabs that had been acquainted with. In my quest, I learned that there was indeed a supreme being who was called by the Muslims who knew Nabi Qadar, the Green One, my spiritual father. He was referred to as the Green One, for he possessed a green light, a force that he directed which could sustain every physical form and heal every disease known to humankind. Suddenly the pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place, for you see, I knew that I had been endowed with a green light, which made it possible for me to heal the sick. For many times people would come to me ill, and I would make them whole again. But it was not until then that I had inherited that ability. It was a gift from Allah, by the way of Al-Qadar, the Green One. I could not wait for my visitor to return. I wanted to tell him all that I had learned, and so anxiously, every shadow time, I looked for him. Then one shadow time, while alone in my room, I felt him staring down at me. Appear, I thought to myself, I want to see you. Suddenly, without warning, he manifested. He said, I am here. And as my eyes gazed upon him, I felt a surge of energy running through my body. My stomach quivered with excitement, and a chill went up my spine. He looked at me and proceeded to tell me that he was indeed Al-Qadar, and that he was known by many other names, the Ancient of Days, Nabi Qadar, Father Time, Sheikh Qadar, Melchizedek, Maliki Sadiq, Murdoch, and Michael. Yes, he was Michael, son of Enki and Damkin, the head of the Anunnaki, who waged war against the bad Anunnaki, Azazel, later called Iblis, Jan, Satan, Devil, those who were created of 180 degrees of evil fire, who rebelled when the foundation of the world was being established. He said that he was also the head of the material order of the Anunnaki to which the Essenes belonged. All right. What I'm wondering is, am I losing the new people here? Are you all following, or would you like me to just answer questions? Because
no, I'm
I really
following. You okay?
Okay, that was one. So you said you following it?
Yes, this is Sheila. I understand.
Okay, and the other sister, and the other brother.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yes.
Okay, all right. There she is. He said, "Go ahead."
I just had a quick question.
I'll do my best.
Do the disagreeable beings, like the extraterrestrial disagreeable beings, do they go through judgment too?
Oh
like,
yeah, definitely.
Are they like even out? That's not even in Earth, like out in the other constellations.
Yes, they do. In fact, even the angels have to go up for judgment.
Hey, can I add to that?
No, sir. I love you, but right now, you see, this is not a hypothetical format. This is facts we're dealing with. And you understand, we're not just having a free-for-all discussion. I'm responsible for raising 144,000, right? And we don't. That's what the sister was saying when we opened up. We don't deal in opinions, But I love you, and I'm glad you're thinking.
No, it was not a dispute. It was an add-on.
Okay.
And the add-on is that those angels, Anunnakis, and all the other reptilians in that, they will be trapped in the bodies that they are in, and they will never, ever be able to get out of those bodies, and they will suffer and die in those bodies.
Okay, that's not correct information, son. But
right.
They will be trapped in Rubik's Cube. They will be trapped. They all go for judgment. And a lot of them in human bodies, they say, fie on that. Will we be resurrected after the dead, after our bodies are rotten, decay, and turned to bones? Surely there would be a return of a cost, a turn and loss. But the Creator response was, see you not the sun and the stars, how they rise and set? Because Anunnaki are stars and people are angels as well. We all have a sun in our solar plexus. But the sun raises up every morning to do what again every night? it goes down. To do what again the next morning?
Rise again.
So is the quickening. Such is the raising after death. So they want to know, how can they be raised up for judgment when they turn to rotten bones? My question is, where were they at 1,000? Where were they at 100 years ago? Because the Most High says, surely there came a time over man when he was nothing worth mentioning, nothing that can be remembered. So if they don't remember themselves 100 years ago, then he brought them forth from a tiny sperm mixed with ovum through the Sarai, through gushing water over the feces, and they've grown up to be to him an open contender, an open disputant, walking around chest out Charlie with all these opinions of what they think and this and that and the other. And they're just fools. What fools these mortals be? But they imagine that he can't bring them up for resurrection from out the grave. But 100 years ago, he created them from what you might describe as nothing, because they were nothing worth mentioning. They weren't even gleaming in their daddy's eye. You understand? So he created them from nothing, but they're trying to say that he can't raise them up from bones and DNA material that exists out the grave. He can create them from nothing, but he can't recreate them from something. What fools these mortals be. Yeah, they will be judged, and it'll be a sad day for them. They'll be crying tears big as splashing on the floor, big as the end of their thumb. Right. He also spoke, okay, there he said, well, a group of people who lived around the Jordan area, all around Jerusalem, and who taught the lesser mysteries as opposed to the greater mysteries. He also spoke of Master Yahshua, that's Jesus. For like me, he was an Ilamutatazet avatar who was caught between two worlds. That's what Malachi told me in the temple. He said, you belong to two worlds. He said, Master Yahshua belonged to the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek. In the last days, he said, I, Al-Kedar, will intervene for the special people when evil comes to triumph. I will use you as my vessel to communicate my message of green light. Fascinated by these words that caressed my overjoyed soul, I knew I had found a friend, someone I could depend on. He remained silent for a moment, as if in deep contemplation, and then he told me that I would be given an initiation, which will prepare me for all that I would encounter as the spiritual guide of human beings. He told me that I would be summoned when it was time, and I would then have to journey to Sudan and seek him at the junction of the two Niles. Therefore, he referred to me the section of the Quran which speaks about his meeting with the Elohim Moses in the 69th degree, which was changed to the 18th degree, verses 66, 62, and his meeting with the Master Abraham in the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 18, at the Adiglet Faratu, or as you say, the Tigris-Euphrates River. He then explained the meaning of the sacred water, the fire, and the sacrifice. As he departed, he told me that he would not see me for a while, but that when I needed him, he would be there, and he was gone. Months passed before I heard from him again, and during that time, my life took a drastic change. It was as if a huge magnet drawing all kinds of people towards me. Answers to questions I never thought I could answer started pouring forth out of my mouth. My Earth family was amazed. It was obvious at those moments, that someone of great wisdom had inhabited my body, and that through me he was speaking. There were times when I would sit in my room and cry because I felt I was being asked to do something I did not understand. I felt at times as if I had no control over my actions, my thoughts, and I wondered if I could indeed give sight to those who appear blind, give hope to those who appear hopeless, bring faith to those who appear faithless, and most of all, teach them to walk in love, not hate or fear. Teach them to walk in light and not evilness. Could I remove the veil from before their eyes so that they once were back into the Elohim? I asked myself so many questions, I began to think I was going crazy. Shaky Dar had not made his presence known to me in so long that I began to wonder whether I had imagined everything that had happened. Did I indeed see this majestic being? Was he real, or was he a real figment of my imagination? But he was real, all right, for whenever that strong sense of insecurity would overshadow me, I would feel Akidar's presence, and he would comfort. Now, finally, in the lunar log of the 1973rd year of the Gregorian calendar, 1973, and I am also Ahmed. I'm an imam a Muslim imam, also a rabbi, a Hebrew rabbi, and a Christian pastor, right? And an Egyptologist. Just let you know the many, because our people are scattered in so many vast and variegated beliefs. I have to be able to address all of them. Finally, in the lunar logging of the 1973rd year of the Gregorian, that's 1973, I was summoned to take my journey. I was told to go to Sudan, and that once there, I was to go to the Grand Temple in Khartoum and seek a being by the name of Mahmud. I was told that his name would be Mahmud, for he belonged to the final part of the three members of the name Muhammad. That's Ahmed, 1, before the Prophet actually came, Muhammad, 2, son of Abdullah and Amina, when he was here, and Mahmud, when he had finished his mission, 3. That is Ahmed, 1, in prophecy, Muhammad in birth, 2, and Mahmud in the end. Right? So, well, the name, they call me the three Mims. As Ahmed in birth, Muhammad in prophecy, and Mahmud in the end. The three Mims, like three commas, one behind the other. So if you could go up to chapter 14, tablet 14 in chapter 6, go up a few pages. All right. Tablet 14. It's 618 in the hardback. Is anybody here from London? Are you here, Cheryl?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, very good. In the Saltback is page 576. We're going to go to verse 144.
What's the scripture again?
Say it again.
What scripture?
We're in chapter 6, tablet 14. In the Saltback tablet, it's page 576. I just want to try to lay upon some people's minds that it really is me. I am the spiritual guide, and I am the Messiah for sure. You can really take that to the bank. All right. Verse 144. Anybody there?
I'm there.
Then Ahmed said, I have never seen you before, nor heard your many names. I have not seen you at all. Gabriel said, Allah the Most High told me to say this to you. Did he? Have you seen Allah the Most High? Asked Ahmed. No, I have not seen Allah the Most High. How can you tell me what Allah the Most High has said? How can I accept it? I have not seen you before, and I do not accept the words which you bring now. I would not accept the words of one who has not seen Allah the Most High, and I have never seen you. Gabriel was shocked. You have not seen me earlier, but I brought you so much. Now I have not seen you, but I am Gabriel. I have not seen you. I do not accept you. You have not seen Allah the Most High. So how can you know Allah the Most High's words? How can I accept what you say? Gabriel went back and complained before the throne of Allah the Most High with tears. Ahmed said, he has not seen me before. I brought him the sign of the seal, but he did not accept it. He asked if I had seen Allah the Most High. Now, the purpose of this reading is I want to get you all to know, if you read the updates of Patan Bab Yanoon, there was confusion about people that missed being taken up in 2003 and 2013. I was taken up along with him in 2013. But again in 2023, everybody missed. And then he's saying that in 2033 to be too late for another vortex opening. But you have to know one thing. I sent a class from Patan Bab Yanoon to a lot of people today called The Resurrection. How many of you received that?
I received it. I listened to it.
I received it.
How many people had a chance to listen to it?
Yes, 2.
I did.
2.
Yeah. I did.
Well,
I listened to
the whole
it.
thing.
Then you know who sent Al-Qadar to earth then?
Yeah.
Who was it?
You.
That's right. The Messiah sent Al-Qadar to earth. In the same way, I, as Jesus before, in my past incarnation, sent the angel Michael to my servant John on the Isle of Patmos to reveal to him things which must shortly come to pass. And he wrote the book of Revelation. He was taken up in the Spirit on the Lord's day, right? So, if you ever believed in Panabab Yanun or Dr. Malachi Z, or then you believed in his words. But I say to those of you that no longer, that you have doubts now, those of you that believed and then turn again in disbelief, then increase in disbelief, and for you there is no saving. Or in my words, I say, those that believe in God don't require any explanation. Yet, those that don't believe in God, no explanation will suffice. You follow me? All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
I've been confused lately on God necessarily, because the way I think about God is like the Christianity version. So could you explain to me God and the Creator, like in Nuapu, so I can have a better understanding?
Okay. God has vast and variegated titles. They're not names. He doesn't have a name, because if you and I were at a fair, it was very crowded, and we got separated, and I was trying to find you, and I saw you, I got on some high place, and I saw you walking in the crowd, and I hollered, Joanne, I'm here. Would you turn around?
No.
No, because that's not your name, is it, Jasmine?
No.
Right. But if I said, Jasmine, I'm here, would you turn around?
Yes.
That's right. So just knowing your name and reciting your name could stop your forward mobility, right?
Right.
It could change your direction. So he doesn't have a name that people can call to stop him in his business of creating. You follow me? But he has many titles, like Anu. Allah means the life giver. Anu means the heavenly one. You know, all these different names, and God is composed of three other Greek words: Gomer, Oz, and Debor. Wisdom, strength, and beauty, physical attributes only attributed to a man. Gomer, G, Ozo, and Debor, D. Wisdom, strength, and beauty. Are you following me? Or Theos? Yeah. So all these names they have for God are titles, because what happens is that everybody sees God in their own interpretation. You follow? Some see him as the all-knowing. Some see him as the almighty. Some see him as the all-loving. You follow what I'm saying? But these are only attributes of the same being. You follow? He has innumerable attributes.
Okay.
So, in many different, just like me, in Egypt they call me Horus. In Spanish they call me Jesus. In Greek, Ios. In English, Jesus. In Arabic, Aisa. You know, they have a lot of titles for a lot of different names for the same entity. You follow what I'm saying? But it's all the same being.
Oh, okay. Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. But a rose is still a rose by any other name, right? You follow me? It makes no difference what we call it. It smells the same and it looks the same. Okay, it's the same. All right. Gabriel then asked, "O Allah Eliu, the Most High, Ya Rabbi, O Sustainer, what shall I do at this point?" And you see, another name for him is Al-Hayu, right? And that means the life giver. Al-Hayu is the life giver. And in the same tablet, you see that Malachi wrote that I, Elion El, said to you, Melchizedek, be still. I, Elion El, sent to you, Achmet, be still. I, Elion El, sent to you, Panabab Yanun. You understand? But it was the same. The Messiah is an evolving being that in the ultimate unfoldment of this philosophy, the butterfly's wings, and like a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly, I'll eventually be Well, let me show you what I am right here. I am Ahmed Abdullah Muhammad, and I'm also Nitir Authority Amun-Rayay Asa. But Gabriel then asked, "O Allah, the Most High, Ya Rabbi, O Sustainer, what shall I do at this point?" Allah, the Most High, said, "Verily, look at the wall of the soul." Then the wall of the soul opened, 1,000 veils. An indescribable veil was there. Its description has no limit. All the divine rays radiated from the veil, and the second veil was behind it. Green lights were illuminating and radiating from it. None of the rays of this green light could describe the powerful light that each piercing ray penetrated from the world of the souls, from the world to the world of the souls. Then the third veil opened. It was an emerald green with pulsating light beams spreading coolness everywhere. Then the fourth veil opened, and the brilliance was there. It is impossible to speak about the light, for from it came a vibration, a sound, the Om sound came from the light, the Ayin principle. So go say this, go tell Alfred that was the sound light. When Gabriel looked, he could faintly make out an image emanating from the light. So here's the angel Gabriel at the throne of the Most High, and he's looking into the light of the Creator, the Most High, or God, by any other name. And he sees faint movement inside that light as the veils opened up. And then the Most High asked him, Gabriel asked, "Who are you?" Al-Hayu, that means the life giver. He said, Al-Hayu are wonderful words. Yah is praised, and Hayu is life, period. Then Al-Qidah, Al-Qidah. They are sacred words. Among some of the words, they are secret, said the voice. But know this, Al-Hayu is the life giver. And so when you see Ahmed in birth, Muhammad and Prophet, and Mahmud in the end, those three mems, they make up what you call El-Hayu, or the Trinity to Christians, right? The Godhead. So me here and him there, we are not two, but one. That's why Jesus always said, when you see me, you see the Father. I and my Father are one. Are you following what I'm saying? Because he doesn't get formless with formless, but understand that the Most High was in the world by sharing his essence, so that he refers to it in the scriptures as saying, I was in the world, but the world knew me not. I came to my own received me not. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get y'all to understand certain aspects of this so you won't be confused. Hey, you are wonderful words. Yah is praised, and hey, you is life. Al-Qidah, Al-Qidah. They are sacred words among some of the words. They are secrets, says the voice. Then Allah, the Most High asked, did you see what that was, Gabriel? Do you see who it is? Now, to sharpen the point, when he said that 2033 would be too late, that gave the implication that there would be a lot of people left behind. And that's a true fact. But know that his mission is not my mission, even though I spent over 40 years of my life helping him with his mission. I have my own mission, right? So that you all won't necessarily be transformed in the same way as those that were with him. Because as Jesus says in the Bible and in the Holy Tablets and all over, he is the resurrection. I am the resurrection, the truth and the life, L-I-F-E. I am, and those of you that believe in me, even unto my name, until they give he them power as gods, to perform miracles, to see your own spirit in the dark around your hands and arms, perspiring through your skin, or to move stars, or I've healed people from every kind of disease, cancer and AIDS. And these people on the phone, I don't ask them to come forward necessarily, but they have come forward in testimonies, in written testimony, and told you that, and sent laboratory reports the same way as I was in the first incarnation, and the possibility of even raising the dead. But it's a difference between raising the dead and reviving a person, right? Because Jesus revived Lazarus. He didn't resurrect him from the dead, even though he had been interned in his crypt for over 4 days. And he like his sister Martha said to Jesus, Master, don't open that rock, because he stinketh by now. But he did that for the glorification of the people. He said, I'm glad that this happened, and that he's good and dead for 4 days, so the people would glorify the Father. And then he went in and told Lazarus to come forth, and he got up and dropped those funeral clothes and walked out. But a lot of people don't know, as Lazarus returned to life, he felt different in life. He never got comfortable again with any job, and people looked at him and stood back and they feared him and different things. And he used to go off in the wilderness and pray to the Most High to bring him back to death because he didn't like life. Until one day, he was out in the woods leaning against a tree, and the prophet Abraham appeared in front of him. And he asked him, he said, "Are you sure that's what you want?" And he said, "Yes, I have no place here right now. I don't want to be here." And Abraham took his hands and opened up his bosom. And Lazarus, after being invited in, stepped into his bosom, and he closed it up, and Lazarus passed away and went on to heaven, right? Out of this world. And that's where they get the song, "Hammy, rock me down in the bosom of Abraham, oh, rockin' my soul." You understand? So all those slave songs had me like, "Swing down, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride." Whoa. They were talking about crabs coming down to get you. You follow me? So a lot of these things have meaning that people have forgotten over time. All right? Now, 159. Then Allah, the Most High asked, "Did you see what that was, Gabriel? Did you see who it is? I am the light I am. I am who I am, Yahuwah. They are not two, but one. This form is the Da'at, the grace. It is within me. I am within it. It is the completeness which is eliminating the sounds. I do not speak, it speaks. I exist within it, and it exists within it, and it exists within me. I speak my words, and I speak its words. I explain things to my creation through this light. The one who is there, that's me right here, and the one who is here are one." Looking deep into this light, you see three Mims, right? So understand that I am the resurrection, even though I'm growing in my abilities, just like Jesus at the wedding of Cana, which was his wedding with Mary of Magdalene. But when they ran out of wine, they went to him and told him, and he said, "Woman, why do you come to me? It's not yet my hour." In other words, he didn't have the power to turn the water into wine, right? But later on during that wedding, he did ask them to go to get 30-liter barrels of water, 30 of them, and he to fill them up with pure water, and he passed by each one, put his hand over it, and turned them to wine. So it's a constantly evolving state, right? So hopefully we're not going to get into an area where I need to raise the dead right now, but know this here, you can't be left behind as long as you're with me. I am the resurrection. You know, and just like when they said he was crucified with three thieves, he told one of them, he said, "This day you will be in heaven with me." You follow, when you walk with me, you're walking with the resurrection, you're walking with the life. You can't be left behind. So there's no fears. I don't think I have to really belabor that point, because those that are confused or don't understand it can ask me more questions about it or anything else that you're curious about. So what'll be the next question? I really wanted to get into this, that you all are the chosen people and I can prove it. Go ahead.
Your time to rule is until
2030,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was News time to rule from 1970 to 2000. That's the first half hour, 30 years. And from 2030, August 12th is my time, Amun-Rayay's time to rule, right? That'll be the second half hour. Mm-hmm.
What happens after that time? Like the growth?
Anybody that doesn't make it up with me is left behind for real.
But does the 3D, does it change? Is it gonna?
No, it doesn't change. Creation never changes. Just the way that you look at it or interpret it makes it appear different. But what happens is that the 3D will still be here, and the people on it will be left behind in what you call a hell as everything starts to ascend upward. Are you following me? For example, all the energies here in 3D are shifting into 5D. Are you following me? That's why you finding shortages in. Start shoot your phone, son. You finding shortages in water. Mute your phones. You finding shortages in food when you go to the supermarket. A lot of foods that you saw on the shelf 5 years ago are not there anymore. Products are not there. Things are getting scant. The weather is changing. The systems are falling apart. Earthquakes and volcanoes. Blue rain. The hurricanes and tornadoes are getting too strong. You follow me? The heat is continuously raising up. This summer is going to be the hottest summer you ever experienced. They're breaking records already. And that's sure, earthquakes in diverse places. And that's sure not good for the pale people. Really, it's not. So, yes. But what the devil is doing is trying to distract you and misdirect you with 5G. Their artificial intelligence, 5G, when you should be focusing on 5D to go to the fifth dimension or higher, to ascend upward in your conscious shift, to shift from one reality to another. And that can only happen when you raise your vibrations, because the things you look at will never change until you change the way that you look at things. You follow me?
I follow.
I'm not necessarily here to teach you anything, but to get you to remember things that you previously knew but have forgotten by time. Because what you call in angels and gods and what have you, at one time you lived on a vibration you existed on where they were your brothers and sisters, they were your family, right? But some of you have fallen. That's the best way I can put it. Like falling asleep, not out of the sky, but falling asleep, for example, under a spell of sleep. And you woke up and you were vibrating on such a low three-dimensional frequency, you were looking up at what was previously your family before, and you started worshiping them as gods. But only they know that you have the same potential as them. You follow me? In the same way, you go to a concert, and there's a professional pianist there, and he's playing Bach and Beethoven, and he comes out, and he's so magnificent on the piano, and you think to yourself, I wish I could play that piano like him. But he or she who was playing the piano, they know, they look at you and they think to themselves, they don't know that they can do what I do, but they have to learn its potential. They have the unlimited potential as deity. You follow what I'm saying? They know how many years they practiced and what they went through Juilliard and different schools in order to learn that. They weren't born playing a piano like that. They know that you have the, just like the angels know that you can do. That's why Jesus said one day man would do greater things than I. Because he knew that you all had fallen asleep and become enocytes or forgetful beings. And you got trapped under the spell of the devil. And I'm trying to protect you now like a shepherd does his sheep. With a staff, I'm trying to protect you all now. That's why all your prophets had a shepherd's rod, a staff like the shepherds, to beat the wolves back that keep on trying to steal the sheep. Misdirect them and get them to look at this, go this way. Don't pay attention to him, and you know what I mean. The wolves are at your door. Because the higher you all raise up and start performing miracles and healing yourself, and like the sister said, stop worrying and start letting go of anger and hatred and start forgiving people, and above all, forgive yourselves and learn how to relearn how to love yourselves and love the Most High, which is synonymous because you're the Most High one. But you have to be made to remember these things. You know, in a more morbid sense, it's like you take a body that they say is dead, and they perform an autopsy, and they put feet over here, hands over here, head over there. Now it's time to bury it. They have to remember the body. You don't have to put it all back together. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to do. You got broke up and scattered all over the world in many pieces and many different belief systems and all. So I have to come and connect the dots again. My job is to wake you up. And I'm telling you, it's much easier to raise the dead out the physical cemetery than it is to wake up people that are spiritually and mentally dead. I'm telling you. It's harder.
That's
wake
true.
up the mentally and spiritually dead than it is to get the dead out the cemetery. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that's true.
Yeah, it is. It's just like, but when you run into like-minded others, those that belong to this mission, and you have to know that once we raise to 144,000, the 144,000 will in turn turn around to wake up everybody in the world that will believe. You follow? And all the rest that won't believe, they will be left behind. But all of you all that are walking with me in sincerity will attain everlasting life. That's it, right there. That's it. And you won't experience the second death, which would be you won't go to hell. Go ahead. Go ahead, sister.
Oh, I was saying all praises, and do I need to be with you during that time, or you just
you are with me? You with me now? See, because we meeting on the spiritual plane. You following me? We meet on the soul plane. That's what a battle is. You don't want to be on the physical plane to fight the devil. We're not going to go out there with guns and bottles and rocks and throw at tanks, because he's a master of murder and killing. And this physical plane, he got bullets and he got dogs, he got bombs. You know, but you got to meet him and fight and defeat him on the spiritual plane. You follow, on the soul plane.
Yes.
That he can't reach.
That's why I wasn't scared of my dreams.
That's right, but he's always trying to pull you down and get you to go back to some old-time religion or some other new manufactured form of the Illuminati that he got dressed up as something else. Because you got a lot of black-ass devils out here that are being puppets for white people. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
They really are. And they're professionals that get in your confidence. They send them to school to learn psychology and this, that, and the other, and they can assuage you and talk gentle and be just as nasty, nice, talk to you real nice, be sweet words coming from hot mountains. But they know that white man is plugged into their anus. That's their God and that's their master.
So, Amun.
Yes.
So we will be leaving in the spiritual plane, not necessarily like in the physical plane, or like
you'll be taken up in the spirit, most of you. But you won't all leave that. Some people will be transformed in the physical, but you'll become a new being. And it depends on which plane you want to ascend to. If you match a frequency like the fifth plane, you can still be in a bodily form. You follow me? Just not as dense. I've been there before, believe me. And when you walk, people here will tell you again, when they come visit me, we walk in the hot summer light. When I walk down the street and they walk behind me, they can see green light in my footprints when I walk down the street. Is that right, family?
I bear witness to that. Yes.
Yeah. And I show them green lights all around them. And blue lights and different things. These are all represent different planes, right? And some of them, the crafts come to us. So that's not entirely out of... Some of you will be taken up in crafts still. But Malachi is saying it's too late for that. That's what I got out of that. But it's not too late for me. It's the resurrection. As long as you walk with me, you're saved. If you do it in sincerity. But be ye not deceived, beloved. You can't play mind games with me. It's not a joke. What I'm here to do is not a game. And I don't play with people's souls. I don't like that. I'll hurt you. I love my people. This is my family. And just like you protect your earthly family, I'll protect my spiritual family. And I like to bless people, but I will curse you. Let my people go. Don't fool with them now. Next question. All right.
I don't have a question.
Go ahead.
I I don't have a question, but I had another dream that I kind of wanted to share. It's kind of small. It was
That's
like,
all right. Go ahead.
it was like, I've never seen none of you guys' faces before, but it was kind of like, Amun, you was in my dream, and you was kind of like, you was taking us like on a field trip necessarily, and you were just kind of like showing us like the stars and stuff like that. I kind of just wanted to share that. I just remember like you was like kind of like the like, you know, the guiding.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
And
I was, see, where I come from, like Yanoon, I'm a king where I come from, but here on earth, I'm you all's servant. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, now I want to let y'all know, too, about the Hebrew Israelites. Like I said, I went through a thing where I drove out to Atlanta to the Brown Mirror, and Malachi had about 12, 18-wheeler trucks out there full of books. So I went to buy some of them because they were going toward his legal fund, and they ended up, disagreeable devils, filling up all my boxes with Hebrew Israelite, and they gave all these young punks, these nothing niggas with no bookstores, no mission, nothing, they gave them all the high-quality books. That's what demons do. They try to bloviate other devils to make each other look big, you know, and they're not big. They, you know, they try to make small or the true connect, those that are truly connected to the source. But all them boxes of Hebrew Israelite made me mad. I had them all in the kitchen, and then about 3 days later, I was taken up again, and I found myself on a craft. I was sitting on the back seat of it, like the back seat of a bus, and I saw a mummy perfectly wrapped on my right-hand side, small and very tight. And I was curious. I got up and walked up the aisle like you do in a bus, all the way up to the front, and there was Al-Qidar, Malachi, Yanoon. He was leaning against that concave window with the stars at his back in space, with his arms folded, and he said, sarcastically, I thought, here comes Brother Achmet, the man that brought Hebrew Israelites to the planet Earth. I didn't like that, so I turned around and walked all the way back and sit down. But a long story short is that I think that the Hebrew Israelite books were for a reason, even though that's not the right direction to go in. There's some truth in it, but I want to tell you all that believe in the religious description that it wasn't about Europeans as prophets, and it wasn't anything about Hebrew Israelites and Egyptians. It was all about Egyptians, because Amos was Moses, Thutmose the third, you're talking about Moses. Solomon is Saul, Amun. Ramesses is Rob, Moses. You follow what I'm saying? All this was Egyptians. But now, on this second bondage, the 400-year bondage you had in the United States in slavery, which is totally unlike the 450 years of bondage you had in Egypt, you've been set free from that too, as the seed of Abraham. And this is your time to come forth with great sustenance, because the devil's time is up. So I wanted to get you all to get a Holy Bible, if you can, real quick, a King James, and look up write down some of these scriptures I have for you, verses, and look them up as fast as you can. Deuteronomy 29:10, Deuteronomy 7:8, Mark 11:23. Because I stopped short the last time, but I have the full reading right now. Thanks to the sister Anukas. Bless her soul for her contribution and work and efforts.
Can you say that again, Amun?
Deuteronomy 29:10, Deuteronomy 7:8, Mark 11:23. Now, Deuteronomy 29:10, I'm going to start reading that. And see, can't you hear yourself in here and the trials that you've been experiencing? Ye understand this day, all of you, before the Lord, your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, that's right, from the lure of thy wood unto the draw of thine water, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Lord thy God. In other words, through Abraham, the Most High made a covenant with him and his seed, right? 1,000 generation covenant, not 1,000 year, 1,000 generation. That's like saying forever almost, right? So you have a covenant. Right. You people have a covenant with the Most High, and unto this day, that He may establish thee today for a people unto Himself, and that He may be unto thee a God, as He hath said unto thee, and as He hath sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Right? Now, somebody was asking me about after death. Well, the thing is, there's no such thing as death, because you, like I said, a spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. Are you following me? So when you talk about the new heaven and new earth, it's because you raise up and shift to a spiritual frequency. Your inner being vibrates on a much faster frequency than your outer being, your physical beings. And when you learn through information, you get raised up in vibration, and the ball of light travels, the spiritual travels up your spinal column, and you go through the crown molar into the etheric or spiritual realm. You got to understand that your spirit body is the blueprint for the physical form. It's not that you're a physical body that possesses a spirit or a soul. You're an etheric, soulful, spiritual being that is projecting a physical body as a lower aspect of yourself. The body is the illusion. It's just a fungus clinging to the light. You follow? So when it says in description that there'll be no more hunger, no more thirst, no more crying, no more pain, no more tears, and no more death, for the former things will have passed away, the only logical way that you would be in the reality where that you don't experience hunger or pain or death or sickness, you got to be in the spirit, because your body is hungry, it's carnal, you have to feed it food. But when does your spirit get hungry? Never. When does your spirit sleeps? It never sleeps, because at night when your physical brain and your body shut down for slumber, God, or the active part of you, the spirit, raises up in vibration, because it never slumbers and acts freely on the flesh. And it raises up and travels out of your body at night in what you call dreams. You know, you wake up and you have memories of dreams that you had in alternate parallel realities. But you got to know that in the dream you wake up, you think that was an illusion, but the real you in the spirit thinks that you here in the physical realm is the illusion, and that's closer to reality. You understand? When you're in the spirit, like John was taken up in the spirit on the Lord's day, and he can see the future 2,000 years in advance, it's because there's no time, no past, present, or future in the spiritual realm. Time only exists for you in the physical. You don't have any restrictions like that, like your vision. You know, your physical vision, your eyes can't see past the walls in your house, but your mind's eye, your third eye, can see through the walls and through back and forth through time. Your hearing is the same way. Some of you sisters have been cleaning up in the house by yourself, and you heard one of your children or one of your relatives call your name, and you raised up and said, yeah, and you got embarrassed because you remembered there's nobody in the house but you, and then the phone might ring, and it's them, and you say, I just heard you call my name. Yeah, I was just thinking about you, mama, or baby, so I was just thinking about you. You understand? But you heard them in the spirit, the same way y'all have cell phones right now. That's not attached to any landlines. It's not going over any telephone poles or anything. So in essence, when you really analyze it, you're talking into the palm of your hand. And the reason you can hear me and I can hear you is because of frequencies. You dialed into my frequency. When you called into this class, boop, 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 you dialed into a certain frequency, whereas you got one number wrong, you ended up somewhere else. But you dialed into a very specific frequency. Like when you're looking at TV and you got cable, you got 100 channels, but you're looking at channel 6 and you don't like it because it's monsters and so you change the frequency to channel 19 and you got pleasant grass and beautiful flowers and you like that channel better. So you go to that reality. So you travel to all these different places on the TV, but the TV is not moving, it's in the same place. Everything's in the same place at the same time, just vibrating on different frequencies, don't you see? You all are going to get to overstand, especially you newer people, by writing down your questions during the week. You don't wait until class to start coming up with questions because you have good questions all week long, and then when you get to class, when I ask for your questions, you forgot. You follow me? So when you get inspired with a question, write it down. Now look, I've been informed that it's after 10:30 now, so it's time for you all to go outside and perform some miracles. Now you might think, why do we have to keep, performing miracles? It's because I have to get you to reuse the muscles and your spiritual muscles, just like your physical muscles, because they'll atrophy. You can't sit up in a wheelchair for 10 years straight and then get up and run around the block. You fall on your face. Your spiritual muscles, even all this time, making sure your dress was pretty and you didn't have cavities in your teeth, the lint in your hair, and your suit was pressed, taking care of the outside body, going to the gym, while your spirit been dying inside. You haven't been feeding your higher self. So we have to exercise those spiritual muscles again to wake you up. So take the time and go outside every time and look at the stars. Okay, Cheryl, what do you see in London? Anne, are you here?
I've got a star.
Yes,
you got a star? Who is this, Anne or Cheryl?
Oh, no, Anne.
Okay, Cheryl. All right. Okay, we're going to move that star counterclockwise for you.
You go first.
All right.
Somebody else.
What are you doing, Anne?
Anne told me to go first.
Okay, Cheryl. You see a star?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, I'm going to make it go counterclockwise. Just tell us what you see.
It's moving now.
Yeah, I see it. I see it in my mind's eye. I see it. Now we're going to make it go up. Travel up in the name of the Messiah.
Moving up. Whoop, drop down. Moving up.
Uh-huh. Now drop down, name of Amun-Rayay.
Dropping down.
All right. Yeah. Now, Anne, what do you see? I love you, Cheryl.
Yeah, I see a star right above me. Right
you
above
see one
head.
above you? All right.
Yeah.
We're going to make that one there go to the right.
In the name of Amun, star go to the right. It's moving.
Yeah. Now we're going to make that one go clockwise in a circle.
Go clockwise, please. In the name of Amun. Yeah.
Huh?
It's move over to the right, to the far right.
Did we lose some people? Is everybody here? Is everybody still here?
I've fixed it. Yeah.
I'm here.
The people of the United States, okay. And the new brother, do you go outside and you see a star?
No, I didn't. I didn't go outside.
Well, you need to.
Well, I went outside. It's raining and cloudy where I'm at.
I love you. I know. But I moved one for you last night, right?
Yes, you moved one with me last time. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Go outside, brother, young brother. Let's perform a miracle, you and me. I hope you can see the moon.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Sure.
Amun, could I get my name?
You already have it. I got to get it to you.
And mine too?
Huh? I got Jasmine's name, and I got Obi's name.
I don't have one yet, Sheila.
Okay. Sheila, you got to earn your name.
Yes.
Okay.
I see something.
You see something? What do you see? A star?
A spaceship.
Yeah, a lot of y'all seeing them. Okay. Well, we're going to make that go up. Now, we're going to make it go down. Now it's going to move to the left for you. Tell us what you see.
It ain't moved.
Oh, it's moving. You just don't see it yet. Your third eye is not open. Yeah, it's moving.
Okay.
Do you see it? Now I'll make it go in a circle. I'll make it go in a circle clockwise. You see it?
It ain't doing nothing.
Well, you begin to see it. This is what it is right now. There's none so blind as he or she who refuses to see. Believe me, and that's not sarcasm, that's facts. You follow? It's just that some people are spiritually aggressive. They've been waiting so long that they're opened up real quick and they can see and do things faster. But it always eventually comes to them as long as they have perseverance and patience. You hear me, son? Because I don't give up on people. We'll try one more time to raise it up. Now, drop it down. And you can call me during the night, too, whenever you see the moon or something out there, and we can work on it, okay?
All right.
All right. I love you. I'm still with you. All right. Now, what happened to all the other people that were in class? Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, I see a star.
You see a star? I want to let Jasmine, can you hear me?
Yes.
You see what the devil is doing? They plan and dropping all the lines and different things like that. You see what I mean? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're talking with your voice low like you don't believe it.
I'm sorry, I was on speaker.
Okay, yeah, but I'm telling you right now, there's black devils here that you think are friendly and good people. They're not. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
The devil, the beast is the most subtle of the field. Believe me. But, okay, so you say you see something, a star?
Yeah, I see a star.
Okay. We're going to raise it up. Name of Amun-Rayay. And your name has Amun in it too now. Now we're going to drop it down.
Drop it down in the name of Amun-Rayay.
I can see it dropping down.
All right. She can see it all the way in London. Can you see it here?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Well, I love you all, and thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that. I love you all. Please write your testimonies and post up when you get them for me all over the world. And thank you, Jasmine, for starting to spread them around the planet. I love you, and I love you all. We are one. Nitia Ferti, Amun-Rayay. So we're going to pick out a way to start giving these rooms to other people to keep it out of the devil's hands so they can't drop the people, okay? It's the black ones that's working against us for the white people. Peace.
That's true.